Welcome back to the Brew Crew podcast, everyone. This is episode 301.
301.
It's like we're starting over.
It does feel that
But
way.
at 300, like with much seasoning.
Much seasoning.
We're seasoned.
Seasoned.
Are we tenderized? Do you think we've been beaten?
Yes.
Yeah,
oh,
we're
yeah,
tenderized.
Yeah,
we're tenderized, seasoned, and starting over at 301. But we're good. Everything's great.
You could be like veal, where veal's not tenderized.
Veal's young.
Just
we're not young.
Milk fed.
We've been getting older as the years have gone on.
We have been
watching
getting older
us
as
age
years.
as these.
Getting fatter in my case. Getting
well,
better
my
looking
case
in
is my case as well.
JT's.
Grayer
for JT.
Grayer, older, fatter, but more seasoned.
More seasoned.
Ready to be on mic. Do you think that this? You give a lot of presentations, I think, at work, right?
I give a couple.
Do you think that this medium has made you better at public speaking?
Wow, JT. Yeah, there's no way it would make it worse.
No, it wouldn't make it worse. It would. It might. I think this podcast has teased out some bad behaviors, like not saying anything after I burp. I have caught myself doing that a few times, not on the podcast. Like you say, sorry, Stacey, but I'll just burp and move on. Because I remember earlier we were like, let's not say excuse me. That's kind of a given. You know? So there's some bad behaviors. But public speaking, I've been just to finish that thought, been given many accolades about my ability to present information. Now it does extend before this podcast, but even more so.
Like we've talked about with like the commercials and stuff like that, where we're a little bit more rigid.
Yeah.
And like the last 200 episodes, we've got a lot more extemporaneously and just feeling the moment and the vibe. I would be curious if you took, because JT used to edit all the episodes, I just brought this up this weekend where you knew everyone's signature and you would be able to.
You could see it visually.
It'd be interesting to see if we still have those pauses.
Yeah.
If you could take it now.
I could do that.
If you could just do a dry episode, well, it takes time. But if you, and not edit one, but just see like, oh yeah, that's Matt, that's me, that's Matt, that's Matt, that's Matt, that's Matt, that's Matt, that's me.
Well,
because I have a lot of
the
them.
itself has a signature.
Yeah.
It's like it's almost a bulb.
Now I'm conscientious of it. I don't want to do one.
Yeah, we don't want to do it. But I do it all the time. Well, an and an are different. They have different signatures. Because an has a complete, it kind of wraps to, like if you guys want to know what I'm talking about, the sound waves when you edit audio, it's represented visually so that you can, highlight parts of it and delete it or change the tone, pitch, whatever. So an has a distinct signature always. It's almost like a fat carrot. Or a radish. A radish would be a good example.
It's been a long time in another life since I've done with like signatures, like not like an actual signature, but
not
sound waves or
sound waves,
spectral waves.
Yeah.
Interesting. Yeah, that. There's no way it would make me worse. Doesn't make me better. I'm gonna say yeah. Mm-hmm. Just the ability to riff. Riffing is important.
Riffing and not only taking questions and being able to think about them on the spot.
Yeah.
But also providing follow-up questions when you're the one questioner.
Like yes and.
Yes and, exactly.
What they say with that's improv.
Yeah. Improv.
Yes and.
Yep.
Don't just
yes
be like
and.
Just clear end.
Yeah.
Don't build a wall, build a bridge.
Yes. And.
Just came up with
tunnel.
That. Developments. This is the last episode 301 is going to be going down as the last episode before we order the advent calendars.
Yep.
So this is your last warning. Stev's still out there.
Final warning.
Stev's I think the last one. But I expect a few more to matriculate.
Final warning.
You have to get me your numbers by the evening of the 25th. That's this Friday, October 25th, and I'm going to put in the orders. I confirmed with Sarah down at Barrel House on Friday. We confirmed a lot of things, but Friday's still a good day. Another thing we confirmed, she brought it up this year, and I posed it to JT. She asked us, Do you want to do pajamas again? Because I wore pajamas last year and she wore pajamas, but we were the only two.
You're very pajama. You have a pajama wardrobe.
So I encourage everyone. Well, sweats.
Okay. Sweats could work.
Leisure wear.
Leisure.
Athleisure wear. I think the ladies wear.
Oh, athleisure. Yeah.
I'm probably just gonna wear sweatpants again.
Sweatpants are good.
Probably a barrel house hoodie. Another barrel house hoodie. But yeah, come as you are. Come comfortable, and ready to party. We're going to be ordering pizza from the Flying Pizza. We got that. There's my pauses. We got confirmation on that, the Flying Pizza.
I've never had it.
Couple of other, it's New York style.
I've heard.
I think it's New York.
I believe that's
style.
true.
It's not very thick.
Flying Pizza.
But it's not like
it flies.
Crispy, crunchy. We're going to have, I just bought raffle tickets. That's how we're going to do some of the prizes. Some of the prizes are going to be included if you just buy a calendar. JT and I have come together. Or actually, you're right there, so we don't need to do it. We come together. There's going to be a prize when you, or a gift, or an add-on when you order a calendar. Other things will come up too. Yeah. We still that one thing. I don't want to talk about it, but you know. Well, we can bring it up. We always have a prize for whoever guesses closest. Not without going over. I think we said just being closest.
Yeah.
Right? We're not doing Price is Right rules on the total cost of the calendar.
Total cost.
It would be a fun one to do, but we all matriculate at different times out of there. How much of an impact the Chuggalos make. That would be a cool number too.
Oh, yeah. How much of it?
I might ask that. That one I just came up with on the fly. I kind of feel bad, but I wonder if Sarah would share that. Yeah.
I don't know.
I'm excited.
It's private data. PII.
It's not identifiable.
I'm joking.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's like, not true. How do you identify?
It's not true. Yeah, a lot going on. I mean, compliments to the chef here. You've done a lot of work on this advent calendar, and
it's meant to be fun.
It is meant to be fun, and you're making it fun. Big outshout to Matt on that. So, and that should tell you how much fun this is going to be. It's going to be an absolute blast. It's always fun, and like you said, we've always done the guess the price thing.
That's a historical one that we've done. We've done that since the first one, right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. I think the first one.
I wish I would have kept that. I have the lists. They're on top of the fridge, right? They're in the front of the fridge. I have all the lists, and she will get the lists when I confirm the number, just so she knows what not to do. Because I want everything to be out in the open. She did confirm that there will be a barley wine, shorty. We said 6 to 8 for the shorties, which is great for them. That's why they bring in an extra staff member. Because if we get a big number, that's over 100 shorties that they're capping.
Now, will they tell us prior to the day starting which ones not to order?
Which ones not to order?
Because we also drink while we're there.
Oh yeah.
And I like to drink on tap.
We're gonna drink. That's gonna be a good one. So we're gonna probably X out some lines.
We're gonna X out 6 to 8 lines.
6 to 8 lines, and then one of them.
Oh, you mean X out the lines on the chalkboard, or X out the beer lines? Like we're gonna finish the keg.
No. Oh yeah. No. We could get there, and there's a keg that's about to be, because there's gonna be a few of us there. We're gonna be in the double digits.
Double digits.
I would elect that everyone that's getting the calendar though. Yes. Because this is on the our impact, Chuggalos and associated Chuggalos. I would suggest to those individuals that are getting a calendar and a shorty's coming off the line, I'll make mention to her. I think that's a good one. That's
we don't want to order stuff the ones that we're gonna have.
Yeah, you don't want to.
These are all first time beers.
Yeah, you want them. It's hard when you're making a lot of calendars. Someone's going to have one, especially, different locations that everyone's coming from. So, but the greatest impact is the goal is to make sure that everyone's having 24 freshies.
Yeah. I love it. So, yep. We're going to have so much fun. Even Caterade took the day off.
It's going to be a blast.
It is. And
it's building to a crescendo. Like, there's a lot of things. People are asking me, like, what time do I need to leave from X to get there? And people are taking another day ahead off. It's just hijinks. so they can travel in.
I love it.
Because people are going to try to drive in that morning. I was like, that's too far. We're starting at 11.
My goodness gracious! You got to be here. So you got to have breakfast, because what happens is you get behind, and then you don't eat, or you eat too late, or you're in a rush, and nothing goes as planned, and you get there, and it's just like, oh, I've just been doing, like, I tried to work. One year I worked half a day. Yep. That was a huge mistake. I should have taken the whole day off, because I got there and I was just like still in work mode. I was flustered. It was like, nah, just have some breakfast. Into it.
I've done it before. When you're traveling west, it's easy because you gain time. Mm-hmm. When you're traveling east, that's a big hour when it's an 11 o'clock open.
It's a big hour.
Because I've opened other places traveling back, but that's like leaving here at 2 a.m. and then getting to my hometown and being like, I got 10 minutes of play on the way.
Yeah.
Even with like stops, and that's not. You're hoping you don't have to poop on the way. It's that close, so you can be there when the doors open. I always
have to poop on the way.
You have to?
Never. Almost never. I never have to poop on the road.
I have to.
I can't.
You're a shy pooper?
I would. Yeah, I guess you could say shy pooper. I just prefer the appeal of routine. Being at home.
I hate routine.
Same toilet.
I'm not a planner.
Not at all. There's no way. No. But with pooping, you're far more.
I have to.
What do you call it? Improv than me.
There's probably something wrong with me.
You think?
With that, I try not.
I think that the bladder and the
Mondays
the intestines work on a similar way that I think that your
this is my poop.
Your intestines work similar to your bladder, like. When you know you're getting close, you have to pee already, but you're getting close, you have to pee more.
Yeah.
Same thing with poo, I think.
I was in a big briefing today, and it just 2 hours is too long, especially on a Monday when I'm like not dehydrating, but Monday is always the heavy because you're retaining so much water from the weekend. Mm-hmm. So I'm like 4 to 5 pounds heavy, and that's all water weight, and that all comes out Monday coming into Tuesday. And then we do the podcast on Mondays.
So I've been pretty good about. I probably eat too much salt and retain water too, but I've been pretty good about keeping a Yeti, and I try to drink the whole thing one a day. And that way, I don't ever have like a shotgun pee sessions where it's like I gotta go a lot. Like you still get it on Mondays.
Yeah, it doesn't matter.
It is 64 ounces, I believe.
I'm drinking like multiple Nalgene's throughout the day.
Yeah, same kind of thing as a Nalgene.
Yeah.
Funny thing about Nalgene's, when they first came out, they had plastic caps, but they were advertised as like unbreakable, which they are. I mean, those things are amazing.
Yeah.
But the cap was breakable, which is still fine because you can still use it to drink out of. But this is chocolate lava cake stout, and the reason I bought this beer is
Wisconsin.
Hopefully special. But here it's State of Brewing, brewed and canned in Waunakee, Wisconsin. Waunakee, however it's. Pronounced.
You nailed
Wisconsin.
You actually nailed it.
I said Waunakee and then Waunakee. Which one is it?
Waunakee.
Waunakee. The reason I bought this beer is because we've often talked about accessible beers and beers that are available to everyone. There's a few places you can go where you can get craft beer, not swill, that is available to the masses, and Trader Joe's is one of them. This is from Aldi, which makes this beer very interesting to me. I've never had a beer from Aldi. I think maybe we've had one on the podcast once, maybe from Cobra.
They're a recanner too, right? They're like Kirkland or whatever. They buy product on a different label, like Kirkland. Like
this
Kirkland
says brewed
brand.
and canned. In Waunakee.
Well, I'm not saying all of their stuff, but I believe
some of their stuff is repackaged from.
For whiskey, you call it a rebottler, but
Aldi sells food at a discounted rate. It seems, I don't know if it is anymore because they're very popular now. And it used to be that Aldi didn't have fresh food. I don't remember, but they definitely have fresh food now. Aldi has come a long way from when I was a kid. But they are a German company. You go in the carts. You have to put a quarter in the cart to get the key out, and then. You ever go to Aldi?
Yeah, I've been there a couple of times. The wife doesn't like going there, so she does the primary. But it's interesting that you brought up Trader Joe.
Yeah.
Because that was brothers that it was the same company, and then one started Trader Joe's and the other one started Aldi.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Wow, they're so different. Those companies are so different.
Yeah. In Wisconsin, we have a joke about Farm and Fleet and Farm and Barn. They weren't, or Fleet Farm and Farm and Fleet.
Oh,
They
I
weren't
didn't know
the same
that.
company.
Oh, that's crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah. So this beer is from Aldi. So as far as I know, you should be able to get this beer at any Aldi across the country.
Interesting.
This beer should be there. It was.
Way to go! I was like, how
well
can you
stocked.
guarantee? But I understand.
I can't guarantee.
Aldi.
But as far as I know, they do not. They don't do like local distribution stuff. Everything.
Yeah, it's all nationally
because all of their
available.
purchasing is done overseas. Like
Yeah.
they don't purchase overseas, but the purchasing people, they work in like Germany, I think. So
It's the Germans.
I think there might be an Aldi US, but I have no idea. I don't know the whole background on Aldi, but that's what it is, a chocolate lava cake stout. Let's hope for the best here. 8% alcohol. 6-pack comes in a 6-pack. I'm excited to drink a beer.
Me too.
Here we go.
Parched.
3, 2, 1. So here we go.
This is gonna go down quick.
Chocolate lava cake stout. So yeah, I mean my expectations are really unknown.
It's a common gimmick in beer.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of like peanut butter chocolate or like a peanut. Like it's a very common stout archetype.
Yes, lava cake stout is essentially just German chocolate cake without the that German chocolate frosting. Instead, it's just the cake part with like a fudge, like a hot fudge,
Liquid
hot fudge thing going on. Really good. I think the Rainforest Cafe used to make one that was out of brownies. That was good.
Was that the best thing about Rainforest? There's a lot of hate for.
Oh, there's nothing else great about Rainforest Cafe. It was overpriced. It's kind of like when you eat at Dave & Buster's. You're like, I know I'm getting ripped off. It's okay because I'm at Dave & Buster's, and after this, I'm gonna go play some games. When you're at Rainforest Cafe, you're like, it's a rainforest. There's trees in here. Lots of there's like misters and there's animal noises every once in a while, birds and stuff, and maybe like a monkey, but not visible, just the audio of that in very subtly in the background. And really, you're just at a restaurant. I mean, there's nothing weird about it, or nothing really unique about it, except that chocolate lava cake apparently was one of the things. But theirs was, I believe, it was shaped like a volcano, if I'm not mistaken, and they would put a sparkler in it.
So, were you going to talk about State of Brewing?
I didn't have any information on it. I should
Excellent.
look them up.
Okay, so no, I got you.
Okay.
So they're in association with Octopi. They are a contract brewer. So from craft beers to Aldi brews, Wisconsin's Octopi does it all, and that's when you Google State of Brewing in Waunakee. So, and you go to their beer advocate page, and it says beers are contract brewed by Octopi, and beers are brewed at or by another brewery.
Oh.
So they are a contract brewer.
Okay.
And they call this an English stout.
Oh, they call this an English stout? I could see where maybe that would be the case.
According to Beer Advocate.
Okay.
I'm just very curious.
English stout. It just says stout with natural flavors.
And that's Beer Advocate.
What do you think those natural flavors are?
They are definitely a contract brew.
What is an English stout? What makes it English?
This was my when you said you got it at Aldi, because you can't get can you get Rheingeist at Aldi?
Not that I saw.
So they contract brew everything that's available there. So
okay,
so
it must be a beer already. Oh, you mean contract brewer? They just go and have their recipes.
Yep, they have their recipes, or they go to another brewer and go, "Hey, we want this kind of product."
Yeah.
Because looking at them, they have a pretty, 35 different brews that they do there.
Nice.
52 beers.
52 beers
at this brewery. So it's interesting. So that like Untitled Art, which will contract brewer or whatever too. It's just that part of the. Brewing is so prevalent there, but the fact that there's two big contract brewers there.
I wonder if there's a reason for that. I wonder if there's some...
It's not your overhead or whatever.
Legal benefit or tax benefit, or maybe there's just some relaxed rules in just that state that allow it to be so prevalent versus other places.
Yeah. So then they rank it by new. They got a chocolate peanut butter porter, double hazy IPA, and this is the names of the beers, like a holiday lager, Italian Pils, Mexican. Like there's nothing creative about the
Yeah,
It's
okay.
not like
So
those
just, I bet you those are the recipes, and then they put them in a can like this.
Yeah. Well, because this, I mean, you can find this beer, like, they just have it chocolate lava cake stout, and it's 8% average rating.
Average rating.
That's it. That's interesting. And yes, state of brewing radon, regional brewer. Well, there's some names.
Yeah, there's some names.
Yeah, Octopi.
Octopi.
But yeah, find it at Aldi.
Wow, find it at Aldi. Look at that. So that's where it is. It's at Aldi. So if you have an Aldi nearby, which you should, everyone should.
This is a popular beer right now from local people.
There you go.
In the area.
Oh, all in the area?
Yep.
Anybody out of state?
All purchased at Aldi. I have it by location.
Oh, okay. Well, hopefully you can find this at your local Aldi.
Yeah.
And you can drink along with us, and you can decide whether you taste what we taste. And that's really what we've been trying to do for a while. There's some times we've done it. And you can go back and find those episodes, grab the beer, and then listen as you drink. We did some swills. I think we did a Colt 45 at one point.
That's the challenge. Like, I'm discovering where I was given a beer by Tam Tots at King's Table. I was like, oh, this is great. And then I go to check it in. I had it in 2016.
Mm-hmm.
Like, so 8 years ago. This
years ago.
This beer, if it's chocolate lava cake stout, the part of the chocolate lava cake experience that it really nails is the fact that the chocolate lava cake came from a box.
Mm-hmm.
I get that, like, cardboard, papery.
I could get that for sure.
But definitely like a cardboard. And everyone's tasted cardboard. No one's like, you know what? This is unique cardboard.
Yeah.
It's got to be corrugated because it's got to be oxygenated a little bit. It's not just like a clothing box.
Not a clothing box. No. It's got to be like a U-line moving box.
U-line moving box. U-lines are available nationwide too. So
oh yeah,
have one of these from Aldi, and then have a
then
U-line.
Like a U-line cardboard
like a
box.
brand new one. We're not animals.
A brand new one. Come on.
Yeah.
Well, don't go in your attic and start licking boxes.
Oh,
You'll have COVID on those. The COVID's just living up there waiting for you.
In your attic? Does it transfer up?
Where do you keep stuff that you are just holding for some later date? You got a crawl space or an attic. Just don't lick boxes. It's all sitting there waiting for you to show up again so it can, reprise its 2020 role.
These are incredible. It's crazy to think that we're 4.5 years past COVID.
Yeah, right.
Like when it came, I understand we're still dealing with it, but when it affected started. Sorry, Stacey. Outwardly, March of 20.
Mm-hmm.
I know some
March
people are.
I
must have got it in January of 20.
Yeah.
Because I had a really bad illness and I'm a horse and never get sick.
Yeah.
But
maybe.
And we're in October of 24. Time just speeds up.
It's crazy. It's been 8 years since the Cubs won the World Series. You just
Speaking of which,
8 years is
I did pick the World Series. The boring pick won. Baseball's got to be happy, right? They got their two biggest fucking markets.
I guess. I actually believe at this. So I think it's hard to say. Yeah, I think they're happy, but I also think they're underestimating how many people have other things to do and will willingly not watch because they don't care about either team.
Or just catch highlights.
Or catch highlights.
You don't think anyone's sitting down for like two and a quarter or 2.5 and watching it.
I mean, I'm sitting down and watching it because I like baseball. I think you have a lack of good pitching matchups, or at least intriguing pitching matchups. You have some good pitchers. There's just the star power is all on offense, and I guess people would want to watch that, but I don't know.
The Dodgers did a platoon game,
that's how they won. Yeah,
they won with a platoon, and they took a cup check off of the White Sox, and everyone knew he was a great pitcher. Yeah, and he was their starter.
Yeah.
The Brewers
they only left him in for 1 inning. I think they should have left him in longer.
I thought he had more legs on the arm.
I think that there's like I hate these teams, but I'm still gonna watch. And then there's Yankees Dodgers, where people are just like, "Fuck it, I'm just not gonna watch." Like I got other things to do. I don't need to tune in at 8:30 p.m. Especially when they're playing in LA. I hope they don't push the time back. That will really piss people off. It's just I don't know. I don't get it. It would have been nice to see maybe Yankees Mets. Someone's got to be the good guy in this scenario. And on one hand, you have Dodger fans.
Yeah.
And they're the worst. Then you have Yankees fans, and they're the worst. How could you possibly have two fan bases tied for being the worst fan bases? They're active, so they're not the worst in like participation. They're the worst in did you see that? Here's an example.
I like this tangent.
Perfect. The other day on Game 5, I believe it was, one of the... Oh, no, this was the Yankees series. I've already forgotten who they played. Who did they play?
The Yankees?
Yeah.
Cleveland.
Cleveland. So there was, I think it was Clase had a pitch that...
Emmanuel Clase.
it was actually Leader, John Leiter Jr. He had a pitch that was outside from the release of...
Mark Leiter Jr.?
Mark Leiter, not John Leiter. Yeah, whatever.
Who's in his 30s, by the way, if you want to feel old.
He's in his 30s?
Yeah.
Man, his pitching really gives people hope because it's all 70-mile-an-hour eephus curveballs. Anyway, there's this pitch from out of the hand to the plate was outside the whole time. And everyone knew it, but the ump called it strike 3. Called strike 3, just absolutely ridiculous. And that would have loaded the bases. I mean, it would have changed the whole trajectory of this series. But the camera immediately flashed to like some Yankee fan just talking crazy shit. And it was like, it encapsulates everything people hate. Like that picture, like if I'm, as a real baseball fan, I'm like, ooh, we got one. You know, like I'll take that. I'll take that gift from the ump. But this guy was just like talking shit. He was just like, yeah, eat it. And that's it. I think, I don't know. Yeah, baseball's probably fine with it because they have the two largest cities in the country.
Yeah, they have the two biggest markets. This is probably the Dodgers are just going to reload. Yeah. They're going to go get Willy Adames. The Yankees have a solid chance on keeping Juan Soto. Mm-hmm. Rizzo's probably gone. Mm-hmm. He's going back to the Cubs.
Maybe.
Why not?
Well, because Jed Hoyer doesn't give two shits about like loyalty or fan favorites.
Send it back.
I think Jed Hoyer needs to be fired, and then we'll see Rizzo. But then we probably also see Pete Alonso, and I don't think they're going to have both of them at the same time. I think Jed Hoyer's just going to go with Michael Busch or whatever 4A level player he can find.
Yeah, the Giants are ready to pounce on somebody. They're sad that they missed out on the Judge sweepstakes, so they're going to get a big bat. They're going to spend over $500 million on a guy. I think the Giants are going to be there for somebody.
Yeah, they got pitching now, so why not?
Yeah,
So you picked.
I
don't think I can pick.
I'm going to pick the Yankees because I'm a quiet Yankees fan.
I'm not a Yankees fan at all. I'm an Aaron Judge fan. That's the thing about the Yankees is they have some guys that you can like.
I think they're good. I think when the Yankees are good, it's good for baseball. I want to believe that.
I disagree.
As a passive fan, just because the Dodgers.
I agree that
the Dodgers are doing what the Yankees did 20 years ago. They're just buying it.
Yeah, it doesn't hurt for the Yankees to be good. I just disagree. I think that what's good for baseball is for Paul Skeens to be a Pirate and for Bobby Witt Jr. to be a Royal. That's what's good for baseball.
You had
need superstars in
small markets that made it. You had Cleveland, you had Kansas City, and you had Milwaukee. Like
those teams, other than the Royals, they didn't have star power. The Milwaukee, you could argue Christian Yelich, but he's kind of fallen off on like popularity lately.
Yeah,
but
he's been injured.
If you have star power in the small markets in the playoffs, that's obviously huge. But you got the star power. That's the one thing the Dodgers.
With the Mets, it was against the Mets. It was one bad pitch. I understand that's against the best closer in the game over the last 2.5 seasons.
This is disappointing because it pushes us all back to pre-Moneyball, where it's obvious that the teams that should have made it at the beginning of the season are the teams that did make it at the end of the season. And I liked Moneyball. I like small baseball. I like singles. I like buying bases, not buying runs. And we just got to the point now where buying runs is what won. It's what won.
That's why I got into a conversation this last weekend about getting rid of the shift. And there's two camps. It's the same as DH and non-DH roles. It's interesting hearing people, you don't want to take creativity out of the game.
Mm-hmm.
But then you have teams that are rangy, that have essentially shortstops at every position, that them getting rid of the shift actually behooved them because on defense they're rangy enough and they don't have fucking liabilities on the corners like these guys that just put, you know, fucking dinosaur on first and a dinosaur on third, and they can't move laterally, you know. You got David Ortiz there on first. Like, so you're just hoping you get it back in that run differential, but
yeah, I mean, I'm still in the opposite camp, and I do like the fact that the pitchers don't hit, but I'm still not on board with DHs existing, and that's just because baseball's hard enough.
Yeah,
and I think every player in the lineup should play defense because it does prevent you then from having like a David Ortiz, and it makes the conversation about whether you should acquire someone like David Ortiz much more difficult.
Yeah.
Great hitter. Just was he good in the field? Who cares?
At that point, yeah, you're getting your 35 to 40 and 1 to 120, 110. So batting averages are down though. There's like 6 guys over 300.
Crazy now. Everyone's throwing like 105. Everyone. Crazy. Anyway,
Which is great for baseball.
That's great
fastball.
for baseball. Oh yeah, I mean if you got a hard fastball, it's great for baseball. But what's great for teams is the Greg Maddux.
His stats
guys
are great.
Who can
Look
pick apart batters.
He had less than 100 walks in his entire career.
If you can get more, let me suggest something to MLB.
Yeah.
Last thing before we move on to actually talking about the thing we do podcast about.
Yeah.
Get the guys who you've banned from baseball. Grab Barry Bonds. You should have really taken more advantage of Pete Rose. I understand that his exodus after 2016 was more about sexual assault or sexual misconduct.
It's not the hall of good guys.
Right, but I'm not even talking about the hall. I'm just talking about if you have an Instagram account and you like baseball, follow Barry Bonds. Him and Alex Rodriguez have probably some of the best content. And I'm not talking about like swing the bat with your wrist whip. No. They're talking about like their mental approach at the plate, and like there's a video of Barry Bonds breaking down an at-bat against Greg Maddux. It is science. It is amazing. Same thing with Alex Rodriguez. He talks about like how to hit, and it's just they should bring these guys into the game and have them do commentary like Tom Brady does for football.
On sports, I forgot because Chuggalo Dave will listen and immediately text message me. He sent me a clip of where I was the one that called out the Vikings not being as good as their record. I won like $140 on bets, and all of my parlays, the only parlay I lost is the one where I had Atlanta winning, but I had Detroit winning in all of them. So
yeah,
I'm going to take that as a win. So thanks for the receipt, Dave. You can post those down in the comments too. I know he took a screen capture with his phone.
Nice.
But all reach back is good reach back, even if it's public or private.
All reach back is good reach back.
All reach rounds are good.
Yeah. All right. Should we do can art, or do you want to go first on your?
I will go first.
All right.
I kind of tipped the hand on this one. Tastes like cardboard box. I like that it's Aldi, and I think that's the main takeaway for this beer. Everyone, Chuggalos near and far, as long as there's an Aldi, you're going to be able to get this beer. Yeah. It's an Aldi exclusive, if you will. It's not going to be anywhere available outside of Aldi unless you go to Octopi or State of Brewing. Mm-hmm. For that, it gets a 0.25 off the top rope, 3.5. No, I'm not saying point.
I was
it
like,
gets a
0.25. Holy shit, that's a low-ass score for this beer.
Did you see Stev's comment?
Which one? I've seen several of them.
We were going back and forth. I think that was the one because he I don't know how the kids, he yatted me or gaslit me or something last week. We embraced it, and he said, I'm going to kick you in the nuts. And that's pretty much how it happened. He's going to comment below. But he says, I'm missing the JT bamboozle when you're talking up a beer and you'll do a complete opposite, or you're like, this one is whatever, 4.75.
Oh, yeah, I see. Yeah, I get it, yeah.
I go, you're due for one. It's been a long time. So I don't know if that was one that we exchanged.
I could bamboozle people, but we need to have a really good or really bad beer. There it is. Chocolate lava cake stout. This can art is about what you'd expect from a beer that wants to make no statements about its can art. Just a bubble pattern, kind of lava.
This is the Manchurian candidate of beer.
Yeah.
And that's probably the most apt thing I will ever say.
They don't want to make statements. They don't want to have...
End the podcast.
They don't want to have, focus groups and all that stuff about the design. It's just lava style.
And that's the bottom line.
Art. And that's the Can Opener segment. I might go off the top rope on this one.
You might throw up?
Off the top rope.
Oh.
3.0. This beer has the lava cake, the chocolate lava cake in there. It's very, very brief at the very, very beginning of the way when you taste it, and then there's a little bit on the breath at the end. But everything in between is, I don't get cardboard as much as I actually get kind of that bitter, like European water taste. You know how sometimes we have those Pilsners that have that like
European water taste.
You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
When you have like a either a Pilsner or some sort of like wit beer or what is some of these European style beers, like a Czech Pilsner. There's just this metallic, well waterish kind
Let
of
it out, buddy.
thing going on there, and I get that in the middle of the taste. It's actually not bad. I think that they found the chocolate lava cake and they put it in here, but then they forgot to mask like all the rest of the like tastes that are in this beer. So yeah, it's a 3.0. It's just average, just an average beer.
Stev's dad right now, or 4 hours ago, was at, I'm not going to dox him, he was at CJX.
Oh, nice.
What a great place.
Oh yeah, great place. This next beer, I'm excited about this beer. This is Senses Pail.
This beer's available at Speedways.
This probably.
There's
Probably.
Speedways
I
everywhere.
got this beer at where was I when I got this beer? I mean, I made the decision to buy this beer. Oh, I can't remember what the name of it was. Holy shit. I went to a beer store specifically looking for rare beers and found this one, and it's not rare. But this is from Departed Souls Brewing Company, and is a collaboration with the band Senses Fail, which is a band that I'll talk a lot about, but it's called Senses Pail, From the Depths of the Fermented. And it is a collaboration with a band. If you're unfamiliar with Senses Fail, they are a kind of modern, I'd say maybe, what would they be? They'd probably be I don't know, what kind of music are they? It's definitely in the punk genre, but it's a little bit, it's like a post-hardcore kind of, like scream. It's probably screamo, but less screamy.
Bullet for My
Little
Valentine.
whiny. No, Bullet for My Valentine's not screamo.
From Autumn to Ashes.
Yeah, maybe in that realm, From Autumn to Ashes, or what's the band that Skrillex was in? From First to Last, like that.
Yes.
Very similar to those guys.
Them. That's who I was thinking.
Yeah, Skrillex was in a punk band before he was Skrillex. If you didn't know that,
I didn't know that.
Now you know. Yeah. So Senses Fail. Ready? 3, 2, 1. Senses Fail has a lot of just they're near and dear, and this one because I think that it helped really drive my musical tastes going forward. They were in the early 2000s. They were much harder, much faster than a lot of the pop punk bands that were popular at the time. They weren't getting airplay on MTV or anything, but I think they kind of gave way. If they didn't actually give way to the bands like Silverstein and Under Oath, they definitely led people to discover those bands. If you're familiar with those bands, you familiar with those bands? Yeah. Okay. No. Not Under Oath.
Yeah, I've heard Under Oath.
Yeah, they're great. You should really listen to them. And what was the other one I mentioned? Oh, Silverstein. Silverstein's amazing. I had tickets to go to them. Actually, part of my tattoo here is the buffalo from one of the Silverstein's albums.
Well, get out of here.
Yeah.
I went to a concert this last week in KMFDM, their 40th anniversary tour.
Yeah, so I don't follow a lot of bands that have 40 years under their belt.
So good.
But, some of them.
I
know KMFDM.
I've a question for you. Do you look up set lists before you go?
No.
First one I ever, because the people that were supposed to come pick me up were an hour late. They didn't tell me they were going to be late until a half an hour into being late. I was irate.
I finally got to see Dance Gavin Dance after all these years that I've loved him. And Katie had the set list, and she started reading it to me, and I said, stop. I want to be surprised.
First time I looked up the set list, and there's... When you follow...
In fact, I'm wearing the shirt. I'm going to take this off.
Yeah, take off the shirt.
Here,
I wish I had sexy music.
You know, you don't, because there's nothing sexy about this podcast.
I drank another beer.
Except the burps, we found out.
3 beers.
So Dance Gavin Dance finally saw it. Great band. Well, it's just awesome. I wish I knew about him sooner. I wish I could follow him from the very first day.
I waited in the merch line. The merch line was incredible. They only brought one merch guy. Have you ever been to Newport Hall in Columbus? I drove by that infamous bodega.
Oh yeah.
Because it was.
Oh yeah.
Where the concert was where it was 3 blocks up.
Oh wow.
From the infamous bodega. So I relived that.
That's awesome.
Relived that story. That's an incredible story.
Yeah.
We got there, and what are you paying for? Because it's been a while since I've been to an indoor concert, not a festival, an indoor concert. A double Jack and Coke. What's an acceptable price?
Jeez Louise, what am I?
I'm glad that this came up organically.
What's the threshold that I'm gonna no longer pay? Is probably how I'll answer it.
Yeah,
double Jack and Coke.
Double Jack and Coke, and a little Dixie cup. A 12-ounce Dixie cup, I think. 12 or 16.
Jack and Coke. Double Jack and Coke. I'm gonna say it's hard. Double, because it's double.
Yeah, it is double.
I don't know. I mean, I'm right around the $12 to $15 range, but because it's a double, I'll say 20, even though I wouldn't buy it at 20. I would never buy that at 20.
Yeah, $24 I paid.
Okay. I would stop probably around $12 to $13. I think the most I've paid for a beer ever is about $12, and that made me feel just like a real stupid idiot. It's probably a baseball game.
But I guess, a 4-pack of, even then it's $10. You've bought some expensive beers, though.
No, I bought expensive beers for the beer. I'm talking about buying a beer
Green
at a baseball game.
Buying the Green Line.
Buying the Green Line. Yeah. Yeah.
But
312, whatever, for $12 fucking, no way. And now it's way more. It's $15 now.
But back at the set list, I shouldn't have looked it up, because this is the band. I'm not saying my favorite band, but I have the most of their CDs. I have over 30 of their CDs, and they didn't play 5 songs. The top 5 songs. They played some bangers.
That sucks.
They played some stuff that I didn't expect them to play. But the people I went with, I was the baby that went, and everyone else was in or nearing their 50s. Sorry, Stacey. So it was interesting because they'd never seen them before. This is a band I've seen multiple times.
Yeah.
But I like those smaller venues are my favorite. I don't need an arena show. You get 300-400 people together.
Have you seen shows at the Rave in Milwaukee?
Yeah, oh yeah.
Yeah, so
and
that's
Eagles Ballroom.
Yeah, Eagles Ballroom.
There's 2 different.
So we played at the Rave.
What?
Yeah.
I was not invited.
Well, I didn't know you back then. You probably were already gone.
I still have your stuff up in my cube at work, even though I've moved cubes.
Yeah, so Accident Prone open. So
and you don't own the URL, right?
Which one were we in? We were in the Rave, I believe. No, we probably were in the Eagles Ballroom and the no. Which is the bigger room? The Eagles Ballroom.
Yes.
Yeah, so we played in the Rave as an opening act for Coheed and Cambria, who played in the Eagle Ballroom.
Yeah, Coheed.
That was cool. And then when they did their sound check, even for the opening acts,
Coheed's
so there was a last minute thing. They were like, "We need an
Bangers.
opener," and we were like, "Yeah, we'll fucking do it." So we loaded up the van, drove all the way to Milwaukee, and did it.
94
awesome.
miles.
Yeah, it was great. And it was a really awesome experience. But so we got there when they told us to get there, which was really early, probably 5 o'clock for an 8 o'clock show, and Coheed and Cambria did their sound check, and they kicked us out. They said no one could do the sound. No one could hear the sound check. I was like, that's stupid.
Wow.
Why not?
Because you would have got
It's not like I'm asking to go backstage and hang out with the band.
Did you get to hang out with the band?
No. That's the weird thing about the Milwaukee venue is they separate the stages.
Yeah.
So everyone sits in the Rave, and then when the main show starts, which is usually 2 to 3 bands.
Yeah.
There's 5 total, 2 on the Rave and 3 in the other one. Everyone moves to that room, which is kind of fucked up. So the 2 bands that open there, they don't get to participate in any of the other stuff. So like if you go to the equivalent in like the Metro in Chicago or the Vic, all the bands are in the same green room.
Interesting.
But not at the rave. They separate you. But they have more opening acts.
They do. It's a
because they have that separate room, they can have 2 more opening acts.
Bigger card.
Yeah.
The drummer, because they've switched out KMFDM, has only consistently been Sasha for the 40 years, and they've switched out. Like his wife is in it. They had his daughter. I found out that she sang at the show before in Indy and the show after in Buffalo, but skipped Columbus. And the song that she helps sings is one that would have been in my top 5. So their daughter's 13, cool. And that's cool that she gets up there.
Yeah, Tom Morello's doing a similar thing. His son's playing a lot of Rage songs with him though. Like I would be disappointed if he like took a break and let his son play, but they're playing together. Could
you imagine if you were a musician and your parent is Tom Morello? Like
I could not imagine that.
But anyways, the drummer for KMFDM, they had the drum they had the drums turned up really, I thought loud, but it was pleasing. And knowing that you're a drummer, I was trying to pay attention to pick up stuff, but he was active.
Yeah.
Which is good.
That's amazing.
So
yeah, I don't look at set lists. When we went to Blink, I didn't want to list others, mostly because I want to know what they think. Like, what are the songs that they want to open and close with versus what do we think they should open and close with?
And there's some
I want it to be a surprise.
And there's some deviations.
Yeah.
It was only 75% of what they played, but I knew the opener and I knew the closer, but like what's in between changed.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then our set, and this, I want to come from like a live performer that's performed in front of thousands of people. When their set is shorter, so they were doing 20 songs across, they only did 18 at Columbus. Is that like a crowd vibe thing when you're like, we're just not feeling it tonight?
I have heard, and no offense to our fans in Ohio, I have heard that Ohio rock crowds typically tend to be less enthusiastic.
Yeah,
now they won't tell you that at the show. They won't say like,
we love Columbus.
But I went to a show.
It was 2 songs shorter,
and they were like encouraging more participation, which felt weird. I was like, is this normal or is it not? I think it's a vibe thing.
The only shows I've been to where they've been unapologetically longer is Mushroom Head, but they're an Ohio band.
Yeah.
So they'll do They'll do 5 or 6 additional songs for an Ohio crowd,
and they have more of a cult following as well.
Yeah, they're playing to hometown. They're playing with Banks money.
Yeah. So I've heard it's, and this has kind of just been true with the shows I've gone to. Ohio crowds, they don't tend to really do a lot of action. But there's an easy way to check. A lot of bands put their shows on YouTube now. Yeah. For multiple cities, you can just look and watch and see what the crowd interaction is. But yeah, I'm thinking if they will cut down 2, it's probably a vibe thing.
A vibe thing.
Yeah, it was unintended.
Damn it.
Let's cut this.
I still want a DIY. Everyone's going to ask what Matt song or what KMFDM song did Matt want DIY. That's 100%. This beer, JT.
Let me talk about this beer.
This beer's... did you do research on this one?
I did.
This one's excellent.
Hold on. Let me find it.
And you're like, it's an IPA. How much different? This one's different.
This one's different.
Well, and it's a pale ale.
Where are the tags?
Technically.
Oh yeah, history. Here we go.
Out of New Jersey, though. Not a lot of goodness comes out of New Jersey.
That's true. Not a lot of goodness comes out of New Jersey. So I lost my page, so I just got to navigate.
No, that's all right.
Again. But I will talk about Census Fail. They have an album, Let It Enfold You. It's EN. Awesome album. They are from New Jersey. They do a lot of it's just harder, faster punk rock, some screaming and some actual like screaming in the like normal musical sense, but also there's some screaming, like he screams, which is weird. It's kind of interesting to hear. And scream like that. Very outspoken. About politics the past couple of years, which is fine.
And that's the bottom line.
You can like whatever you want.
Well, that's what I was going to do. I was going to turn the mic up. People have been saying it's a little soft. There we go. I'm just going to turn it up. So if you hear a deviation, I just turned it up. however long that is.
Yeah. I don't know why this is not working, but it's like I click this link here and it's not going to the page, and it used to. It used to go to the page. But this is the first brewery apparently in Jersey City, so they're out of New Jersey.
Yeah.
And this is brewed with strawberries, real strawberries and quinoa. I'm interested to hear your thoughts because it also is gluten free.
I've heard ancient grains 3 times in the last week, and I'm always like, "What's ancient?" And quinoa is considered
Quinoa.
an ancient
Are
grain.
you a fan of quinoa?
I enjoy it as a change of pace.
Yeah, I like it as a change of pace.
It's unique. Do I crave quinoa?
I'll take that.
I don't think anyone craves quinoa.
No.
But
Very rare.
people are pleasantly surprised. They're like, this is different.
Yeah. Why would you crave quinoa? There was a place, when I lived in Chicago that one year, there was a place that did, it was called the Protein Bar. Have you ever had food there?
No.
It's all...
I do like that house that you were at, though, in Chicago.
Yeah, that house is cool. My house now is better.
Well, okay, like...
You like the open floor plan concept.
No, I'm saying... Right.
Like, that's the thing you like, and you like there was
comparing
like
those
half level up things.
Yeah, comparing those two houses is... I have a Porsche and I have like a Chevette.
No, that house is more expensive than the house I live in now.
Oh, well...
With cost of living, obviously.
Yeah, cost of living, yeah.
The places. That house costs a fortune. Gluten-free beer. I guess they make everything gluten-free since 2015. Yeah, and they're collaborating with Census Fail. I lost the page that I was on.
It'd be a perfect beer if it had gluten in it.
Yeah,
this is the best one since Wild Ohio.
It might be better with gluten. But can we be honest about how not shitty this beer is with gluten-free?
No, this beer is fantastic.
It's a challenge to find a gluten-free beer that is good, and I think and maybe this one isn't good. It's not great. It's fine. No, it's decent beer. I don't know how you feel about it. I love Census Fail.
I'm way higher than that. I wish that.
It's the stout. I should have switched.
It's weird knowing that the band was Census Fail because Census Pail is Pail. Yeah. Like a pail, not pale Pale.
Right.
Which logically you would have went with that with a beer, but because of the band. So I understand.
Because of the band, Census.
So
Fail.
my brain is still having trouble getting around that. Off the top rope, this could be a standard. This is quite good. It's got a unique signature citrus candy signature to it. Once you said strawberries, I'm like, okay, is it like strawberry puree? No, don't get that. Like, this is a hop forward beer. It just, how do you make a pale ale or an IPA different? You do whatever this beer is doing. This is a complete departure from the normal, safe lanes in the road, the bumpers, staying in between the lines. This is a refreshing departure. At a 6.3, you could have a couple more of these than like 7.2 or whatever. And I know it's only 1% or whatever, but in the mind's eye, this is different. I would like to have this on draft. I just want to see right from the brewer's teat. I dig this beer immensely. I would buy more of this. Does this one come in a 6-pack too?
Yeah.
Yeah, again, so it comes in a 6-pack, so it's a good fridge filler. So it's going to be in the strong fridge filler category for me on vacillating between two scores. I'm going to give it to them. Might be one of the best band collaborations. Hopefully did the band have a say in this, you think?
I believe they did. That's something I should look up as well. I just looked up the brewer, but I should look up the collab.
I like it. Off the top rope 4 or 5. It's that the fruit makes but that citrus pale ale, if you needed something just to, let's say you were only a hophead, pale ale, IPA type, this is going to be a way to change the pace while staying in your comfort zone.
Yeah.
Because it's got just that freshness, that pop of sweet citrus, excitement, difference that you could really hang your hat on. I would buy this as a 12-pack and make this a fridge filler.
They actually did hundreds of pounds of strawberries. So they didn't rip you off.
It comes through. If that's, I would have not gotten strawberry, but I'm attributing that citrus candy sweet because that's what I wrote down. I don't write down comments anymore because I know JT's not looking over here or whatever. I'm able to riff. But yeah, this is a pleasant surprise.
I wish they put out more information on this collaboration. They did collaborate with them. And I'm guessing that the gluten-free thing has a lot to do with that.
While you're looking, and I just want to go back to merch so they had one guy working the merch table, and I really wanted a hoodie, and I'm at that means where I'm like, I can spend X amount of dollars on a fucking hoodie or some merch or whatever at the table.
X times infinity.
And I went to the table and I go, I want that hoodie, and he's like, small, medium, or large. I was like, get the fuck out of here. I want like a 2X.
Oh.
And
you want a big one?
Yeah, I want a big one. Like, this is a 2X. Like, I just bought this. Again, I want a little bit of it. Not only am I a little bit bigger, but I just want it, it see, that's my arm. It looks good. I want a little bit of room in it. And he's like, yeah, only small, medium, or large. I was like, okay, thank you. Like, right. I was so discouraged.
That is discouraging.
God, it sucks.
Small, medium, or large, you got to have XL at least.
Yeah, and he goes, the guy in front of me, I was kind of prepared, and the guy in front of me was much more smaller, diminutive, and he bought a large and put it on, and it fit him, and he was 6 inches shorter than I was. That's a big one. It has to go past my waist. Like,
get the merch right, guys. Like,
and they had one guy, and there was the one complaint.
Get the merch right like Dance Gavin Dance. They got it right. Here's the Can Art boner segment. There you go. Now, I will say that after having listened to Census Fail for years and years and years, the font on Census Pail is what's on their albums for Census Fail, and the skeleton face, that kind of like Day of the Dead style skeleton face, is their
Dia de los Muertos.
Yes, exactly. Is their trademark logo. So yeah, very good. On the can art, they nailed it. It's a very it's got a mattness to it.
A matte finish.
A matte finish, and it is a fruited pale ale. It's good. I like the can art. It did what it needed to do. It got my attention. I said, Census Pail, what is that? Oh, that's a band I like, and I bought it. I'm surprised that they are popular enough to do a collaboration. Now, they have some really great songs, and, I wish them the best. I think they might have played Wish When We Were Young Fest. I'm not sure. But, yeah, they're good. Lead singer's name is Buddy. That's always fun. I don't know if that's his name, but that's what I know him by.
Can I just was reminded by something. Can I clear up a little bit of
let's clear it up.
Angst that people have.
Ooh, people have angst?
That Busch Light letter came from Busch Light. People are like, it's written like Matt wrote it, and
it's
they
written like
use
Matt wrote it, but no.
Big, strange, and I just got another comment like, it's strange, exactly with Matt's vernacular. Those weren't my words.
That's weird. Who would say that?
Who would say that? Well, a certain Chuggalo that's going to show up for the Advent calendar.
Which Chuggalo?
Those you know what? I'll put him on. Chuggalo Mikey.
Let's say his address and put him on.
Chuggalo Mikey. I'm not going to dox him, but he's done videos before.
Oh, dox
saying that I wrote letters. There was official letterhead. It was sealed. You guys, it was stamped. You guys saw all of that on the podcast. Check it out, episode 300.
I wish that
Brennan Whitworth. Thanks, man.
There's a song. So they have there's great albums. Still Searching's good. Let It Unfold You.
Do I have a typical vernacular?
Like Life Is Not a Waiting Room. Great album.
People are able to.
There's a song that they have called If There's Light, It Will Find You. And I thought that was a true story, and I think I learned it wasn't. And that song is absolutely amazing. I hope one day that I will learn the story behind that song. Anyway, great band, love them. This beer has a lot of really good notes. I am not as high on it as Matt. But the can of burn segment's over, by the way. I didn't put a close to that. I got to close it out. I want more strawberry, and I feel like maybe I did this beer a disservice by having the stout first. I know I did a disservice by having the stout first. Hundreds of pounds of strawberry is great. You're distributing nationwide. Obviously, you're from Jersey. So I don't know how much beer there is that 100 pounds went into. Whatever it is, kudos to you for using hundreds of pounds. But also I want more. I need more. Now there's also something in here called Belgian candy syrup.
Yeah.
You familiar with that?
Nope. But
Me neither.
again, I said candy.
You did say candy, and that is a good call on your part.
It probably is like the opposite game where it's like, this is an acrid fish paste.
Yeah, acrid fish paste. So, I can't. So yeah, this has a lot of similarities to. It really doesn't have any similarities to an IPA. It is a fruited pale ale. I feel like the underlying beer in this is fine. The underlying beer in this gives it a 2.5, and everything that you do to this beer after that elevates it more and more and more higher. Sometimes, when you have like a Berliner Weiss or you have a stout in some cases, that beer, the base of the beer can already start you at a high score. And you could fuck it up or you could get an even higher score. This one starts kind of average, below average, and moves its way up. Exactly. And so for that, I say that the strawberry gives it a boost, the candy gives it a boost. It's not, they don't rely on the underlying beer.
1.25.
No. I just need some of these flavors to be boosted a little bit more. So I'm actually at I don't know that I would want too many of these, to be honest. 3.25. So this is the furthest apart we've been in a while.
A couple episodes.
I'm going to try this beer again later tonight. I have another one at home where I don't have the stout on my palate because I feel like that might be fucking things up a little bit.
Well, damn it.
But that's my score.
I really dig this one.
Yeah, good. I can grab you a couple more.
I dig this. Again, as a good fridge filler, like, am I gonna wow somebody if JT comes over and we're gonna make steak or something like that? This is not gonna be my go-to. But as like
for gluten free, I mean, this beer is in the gluten free world. This is a 5.
If this would have came up during the Advent calendar, I think you'd be very pleased with it.
Yeah, I'd be fine with it.
Right.
Yeah.
Just
I gotta try this again later tonight. I'm gonna give myself a mulligan on this one if it's different later.
Yeah.
Because of the stout.
You can follow JT when he updates his score.
Yeah, I'll update my score.
On Untapped.
I'll update my score. I'll say it out loud in the world. It's up to the world to hear it. If you don't hear it, it's your fault. You need to be.
So I'll put his address in this episode.
Yeah, put my address. We're going to dox several people, including myself. And you can come by my house and hear my score.
So, wow. The important thing, the Advent calendar. Again, you want one. Let us know. Either of us know. We can get the numbers updated by this Friday. October 25th.
October 25th.
On the Friday, November 8th at 11 a.m., we're going to start building the Advent calendar. There's going to be a bunch of them. I'm not releasing the number right now, but there's a lot in right now. Get there early. There's going to be pizza. There's going to be prizes. There's going to be shenanigans. There's going to be pajamas. Come comfortable. Again, pajamas could be, you're wearing footy pajamas like you're a Christmas story, or you're wearing sweatpants.
Sweatpants, or you're wearing just typical clothes.
Yeah, just
or do whatever you
typical
want.
clothes.
Who's gatekeeping this? No one.
But feel free.
Barrel House accepts all people.
Feel free to wear pajamas.
They don't accept dogs, I believe, though. On the porch, they do.
Yeah, on the porch. If it's the weather this week,
all people. If you're a people, you're accepted.
Everyone who shows up will not be able to all fit on the porch, though.
No, yeah. I mean, not everyone who shows up shouldn't bring a pet. Just show up with yourself.
Speaking of pet, that pet was on my back patio on Saturday, and Raja about caught that thing.
Nothing's worse than cat piss. I'll tell you that. Cat piss is terrible. Actually, fox piss is terrible.
Yeah.
Red fox.
Pregnant
piss.
Mary permarin.
Pregnant Mary urine. What is that?
It's an ingredient in a lot of fine perfumes because it persists.
Because it persists.
It's almost like a sticky, like a cat piss.
If you want to get rid of skunks, get fox piss.
I've heard of that. Oh, it's got to wait.
It works. It works. I did it, and it works.
But please let us know. Advent calendar.
Advent calendar. It's going to be amazing. What time does Brew House open? Just
11.
Okay,
11.
so we're going to be there right at open.
We're going to be there. I'm probably going to be sitting out on the patio a little bit early.
Me too. As long as I can get my...
I look forward to...
My followers to follow.
The followers to follow. That's where... I put my foot down. I'm leading. This is one of my Christmases, and I go, we will be there fucking on time.
Yeah.
Because the limiting events in the past it's been the same day as Veterans Day.
Mm-hmm.
That's not the case this year.
No,
we're
it's
not
Veterans
gonna have,
Day weekend.
We're not going to have the preamble where I'm having to be somewhere at 10 o'clock and then somewhere again at 11 o'clock.
Yeah.
But that's it for 301.
That's it for 301. We got it in the books and in the bag. That's it. Bye.